Jillian Michaels, who used to be on The Biggest Loser, and now ironically is back surrounded by them, I guess, she's on that Her Take, like knockoff of The View that Peanut Butter Dick had put together. And so that is why she calls him boss while they're talking sometimes, which is weird. And in this one, they the Pam Bondi like one extra minute of footage, which is actually 3 minutes, which is actually there's a bunch of like I would like to see the edit logs. I'd like to see the like the XML document that has the edits that from Premiere in it. Okay, but Nancy Mace walked out, and that's Anna Paulina Luna is the thing to say, right? Anyways, their reaction to the new documents released by James Comer and crew is pretty spectacular, I think, if this is sort of, needless to say, I don't want to get ahead of myself, because I think they're going to talk about some part of this, but holy shit. Okay.
So yesterday,
trouble seems so far away.
Released 33,000 docs released after accusers met with lawmakers. Rob, when I'm doing this, please show Nancy Mace when she's leaving the place and her reaction. Well, let me read this story to you first.
By the way, the 33,000 documents were already publicly available, except for like less than 1% of them. And even those were just like, I think it was just like the documents that tracked where Epstein's plane was parked.
So they meet with lawmakers. A lot of them heard the testimony of the individuals. The House Committee and Oversight Governor Reform released 33,295 pages of Jeffrey Epstein-related records from the U.S. Department of Justice on Tuesday, including videos from the 2005 Palm Beach Police Department investigation and Ghislaine Maxwell's DOJ interview with the committee, stating on August 5th, Chairman Comer issued a subpoena for records related to Jeffrey Epstein, and the Department of Justice and indicated it will continue producing those records while ensuring the redaction of victim identification, identities, and any child sexual abuse. Representative Anna Paulina, after meeting with 6 Epstein victims, stated the victims themselves have stated this is a lot bigger than I think anyone anticipated. There are some very rich and powerful people that need to go to jail. It is very much a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligent asset, or you're going back to it now, working for the adversary, but also question who he is. How much did our government know about it? A House vote on Wednesday aims to formalize the inquiry and ensure...
Real quick, just before they get started with Manette, I would like to point out that every House Democrat is voting for the petition to release the Epstein documents. Every single Democrat. Every Democrat, without exception, is voting to release the Epstein documents in full. All of them, no matter who's in them. 4 Republicans have signed on to vote with them. 4, including Thomas Massey, and I don't even know if MTG's on the list, if she's committed to it. Every Democrat, 4 Republicans. 4.
Further releases, here's Representative Nancy Mace,
Oh, by the way, Nancy Mace is now one of the 4. Like, she's the 4th. Or she might even be the 5th.
Assault survivor left the meeting early, overwhelmed, stating on X, as a recent survivor, not 2 years in, I had a very difficult time listening to their stories, full-blown panic attack, sweating, hyperventilating, shaking, I can't breathe. I feel the immense pain of how hard all victims are fighting for themselves, because we know absolutely no one will fight for us. God bless all our survivors. Here's her, by the way, leaving. She's crying, yeah. So that's Nancy Mace. And by the way, Nancy's tough.
Oh,
you're not talking to somebody that's
character for
it's not.
Yeah.
She's super tough. And so there's a couple clips I want to show you. This is one of them, Rob, Anna Paulina, and then the other one is...
Also, by the way, you can be tough and cry when listening to a victim's statements, and that's not out of character for being tough. I would like to say, I don't know what Jillian Michaels' fucking problem is, but let me explain something to you. And not to quote the Big Lebowski too much, but you know, strong men also cry. The idea that there's a difference between being tough and crying when you hear what happened to 14-year-old girls is fucked up. Like the idea that they think these can't, that they're conflicting character traits.
The jail clip that they finally released. Go ahead, Rob.
The biggest thing that stands out to me is the victims themselves have stated that this is a lot bigger than I think anyone anticipated. We are...
it could go, I don't know, even to the fucking presidency. Oh my God, MZ Lee, thank you so much. Saying call your reps and order them to sign the discharge petition. I completely agree. And if you know they're not going to be the kind that will do it, if they're a Republican like Harriet Hagman is one of the representatives for one of the regular viewers, if you know they're not going to do that, shame the shit out of them. Call anyways. You know what I mean? Like, lay it at their feet. Shove their job down their throat in that regard. You don't, just because they're not going to vote for it doesn't mean you have to let them off the hook. So thank you, MZ Lee, for that.
To be requesting the SARS reports from Treasury, and also following up on that. There's some very rich and powerful people that need to go to jail. I think everyone...
Yeah, like you dude.
...has been frustrated as to why that hasn't happened before. But it is very...
Gee, I don't know. Maybe because his fucking wingman was president when he was arrested and died in jail, and that's also when all the evidence was rounded up, and they didn't get a warrant to take the evidence, just to photograph the evidence, and then they come back the next day and a bunch of it's missing. I can't imagine who was president when all this shit went down.
Very much so possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset working.
Right, but here's the clip of the jail cell. Okay, so when you watch this is, look for the movement.
Okay, so this is the extra minute. Remember the minute that's missing? Also, look where they're getting it from, RT. But remember how there's a missing minute, and according to Pam Bondi, it's always missing. The tape always cycles, and we're going to get the tape that's missing from fucking every night, which, by the way, they could have done at any second. When that first came out, if you'll recall, I was like, if you're trying to show that it always resets, what fucking difference does it make what night? Just choose any night for the last 20 years, show that point, and it will show that it jumps a minute. But it doesn't. Now they're releasing it, and the minute is actually in there. Watch this.
All the way in the back, top left corner. You see something moving back there? Okay. So this is the clip that they didn't release. It was 3 minutes hidden. It's finally out. Watch the movement in the back where Rob is putting the arrow at. You see that? It'll keep moving in a minute. Watch a person. Nobody knows who it is. He's just going to simply walk to the right.
Oh, this isn't a ghost, Pat? This isn't a ghost, right?
No,
okay. Just want to make sure it's not an apparition.
Keep watching. What happens
That's a big
here?
word, Vinny.
Thank you.
Right there. Who's that person?
What? Oh, he's wearing all black. Oh, weird. Who's that?
Nobody knows.
Huh.
Nobody knows.
Probably the guy who came and erased the footage and shut down the cameras. Maybe. Just going out on a limb here.
What happened there? So guess what? By the way, this is the part about the sequencing, how dumb of a sequencing they took.
How dumb of a sequencing. Again, I don't think I can stress this enough. The abuse that they're getting from their own side, that Trump is catching, all the shit that Pam Bondi's catching, all the shit that Trump is catching from his side, no matter how bad it gets, what's in the files is worse. If he was completely abandoned by MAGA, if they were like, I can't believe he betrayed us and didn't release the shit. If they turned on him and he had to leave the country because maggots wanted to, like, shoot at him or some shit because they, right? Anything. Whatever's in the Epstein files is worse than that. Just remember that. Okay.
They would have released the footage with the guy walking. You think people are not going to know you cut 3 minutes? Now that you put this, now people know you're hiding something.
Right.
If you would have just left it.
Why'd you lie about it in the first place? I was just...
Yeah. Why would you lie about it in the first place? Maybe because she's been in on it from the get-go, and that's why she was fucking hired? Check out the psychotic high moment between she and Putin. I will, yes. For fuck's sake. Why would they lie about it? Because She was the fucking AG after he got his sweetheart deal. She could have tore it up and gone after him. What the fuck is wrong with you? Trump was his fucking wingman.
I thought they released the whole thing and there was no minute missing
3 minutes.
because it reset itself. So that was a total lie.
Weird. Yeah. And a total lie. Not only, and that's, I gotta say, that is, chat room, that lie. Hold on. Let's see if I can find Trump, are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Remember that? Okay. Trump, are you still talking about Epstein? Bundy. They'll do something like that. Okay. I want to see the whole piece. Yeah, here you go. Okay.
Are you still talking?
Nope. All right, that's just the 21 seconds of it. I want to see yeah, here we go.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the
Yeah, sure.
Notice, by the way, Trump's a little fidgety, but you can tell he makes it seems like. All right, well, I'll try not to be, I'll leave a little wiggle room here. It seems like he decides to interject at the subject of the minute of missing video, which, by the way, we now know wasn't missing. It didn't get erased. It's not automatically reset. That's just bullshit. But that missing, and knowing that, think back to this. When he interjects right at that moment.
Hey, Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second?
Mm.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't.
Also, can I remind everybody that during this same meeting, when he was like, do you want to waste the time answering questions about Jeffrey Epstein with 1,000 fucking victims and connections to rich and powerful people all over the world, none of which are being prosecuted because of Alex fucking Acosta? Do you want to answer that question? You want to waste the time? And then he randomly starts talking about the fucking crown molding in the room and how much better he's making it, just like waste time, like it's an episode of HGTV all the fucking sudden. That's not a waste of time. This is a waste of time.
Mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest
Ron,
success
thank you.
and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure.
It seems like a desecration, not of the 1,000+ victims, you prick.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along.
The file, singular. There is no Epstein file. There's thousands and thousands of pages of documents. There's video. There's there's like thumb drives with tons of shit on them. There's books of like CDs of rewritable CDs with photos on them. Like the file. Fuck you, lady.
Along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein.
No. This dude who had access to living girls of his own did not download 10,000 like child porn videos just to have them around. With all the cameras in his fucking apartment and all the storage that they had, the videos are not just fucking commercially available child porn he found on the dark web. Get the shit out of here.
Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
By the way, this was them trying to shame everybody into wanting to see what the fuck was in it. This is all like, that's all a lie too. It's almost like this lie just kind of has floated away. we'll catch up to it eventually. I have no doubt they'll be like, where's all the fucking video files that were allegedly stored from the cameras? That was all tough. That's what they're going to say. Fuck me.
To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing.
Ah, goddamn. That like hurts my spine. Listen, her fucking twist that shit around. Like, goddamn, how do you fucking allow that bullshit to just like crawl its way up from your tailbone and eject itself out of your fucking face?
He committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And
right. Looking for the video showing a minute is missing every night, which is what I said at the time. I was like, well, then pick any night, grab grab it at 11:58 and watch it play out and watch the minute disappear. Never did it. Remember when I brought that up? You guys remember when we've covered this before? Okay. We now know that is absolute horseshit because they just released the extra minute. That's what they were playing, this bit right here. Also, I'd like to point out that the timestamp on it seems to be in a different place than the other video. Make of that what you will. Fuck you.
Person.
What? Oh, he's wearing all black. Oh, weird. Who's that?
Nobody knows.
Huh?
Nobody knows what happened there. So guess what?
Yeah, by the way, the person that's noted in there when he's saying nobody knows, there was the Office of the Inspector General that talked about the failures of the night and the cameras weren't working and all that kind of shit that came out. That person walking from there is not mentioned. That missing minute is apparently missing in when they made their report. So they wouldn't go looking for like, who the fuck is that guy? They didn't even know to ask about that person. Yes, there are 3 minutes missing. This particular minute is the 11:59 to midnight minute. The problem is earlier, there's also an overlap where one file is 2 minutes longer than where it picks up. So they sliced out something. They removed 2 minutes of footage and kind of buttressed them up. So this 2 minutes under here would be hidden by the longer video above it. So it should be 2 even ones, 3 hours and 3 hours like that. And it's not. It overlaps like this. And so basically like it's like they looped the video to make it the same length.
By the way, this is the part about the sequencing, how dumb of a sequencing they took.
No, I disagree. But I know I'm interjecting in a lot of these things, but believe me. No, it's not dumb, dude. You work with the tools you got. And the fact is, they're dealing with a piece of video that if they released it would show a fucking, like, somebody entering the cell block that wasn't supposed to be there. So they had to cut out 2 minutes of whoever the fuck that guy was as the guards left and this dude came in as they allegedly went on their rounds to another area so he could walk by without them fucking seeing it. Like, they got a fucking phone call. Hey, do your rounds in C. There's a guy, and they don't need to even know. You're like, you don't need to know. Just go look at your shit. And they go up and they walk over to C, and a guy walks from A to B so that they don't see him legally. Like, they have not, I didn't see anybody coming. We just did our regular rounds. Nobody came and went as far as I know. And then the dude goes over and, kills Epstein or helps him leave and replaces him with the homeless guy that looks like him or whatever the fuck they're doing, gives him an injection that makes him seem like he's dead and he's just asleep, wherever it went. And then that guy erases his existence there and then fucks off. Right? Okay. So, it's not dumb. It's ham-handed and shitty, but that's all you can do other than just AIing the entire video, which I'm sure crossed their minds.
they would have released the footage with the guy.
Shit, if they'd have released the footage with the guy, we'd go, who the fucking guy? And then they would have chased it down. They're going, oh, actually, that guy's a CIA agent that was in the building, allegedly, and he was, Trump sent him there to check on he was doing a scan for, of the cells. Like, that's where it would have showed up. Like, there'd have been a record. And now people are going to want to know, by the way. They're going to want to know. I want to fucking know.
Walking. You think people are not going to know you cut 3 minutes? Now that you put this, now people know you're hiding something.
Yeah. Asshole, we always knew he was hiding something. It's just you dickheads are just now waking up to it. What the fuck's the matter with you? He was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for a quarter century. He'd still be friends with him if he hadn't been caught. Do you understand that? Do you understand that if Jeffrey Epstein hadn't been busted in Florida and had this stank on him, and he was still doing all of this shit, Trump would still be friends with him, knowing full well what he was up to.
Right.
If you would have just left it.
Why'd you lie about it in the first place? I was just thinking.
Because Trump was president and they were best friends and they were engaged in this kind of shit.
I thought they released the whole thing and there was no minute missing
3 minutes.
because it reset itself. So that was a total lie.
Yeah. Yes, it was. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a miscommunication. It was an absolute, direct, bald-faced lie. And you fuckers lapped it up while the rest of us were going, what? How is that? How is there a minute missing from the most important federal facility in New York City? Right? Right. Oh my God.
What do you think's going on here, Jillian? I mean, I don't know if we've spoken about this before. What do you think? There's anything here? You think there was something? I watched the documentary with Ghislaine Maxwell on Netflix, or I watched his documentary as well. And you see these girls saying, "I went there, I decided not to, but I brought 24 girls back to him. Every time I did, he paid me $200. And one time I brought a 14-year-old girl. Cops told me, you're part of it because you're over 18. You're facing jail time. How about me? How about this?" You're reading these stories. It's just unreal.
No, there's
It's completely real.
overwhelming evidence. We've talked about it on your show previously. The guy is somehow related to intelligence, whether he's CIA, whether he's Mossad, whether he's both.
Russian.
Clearly, there is so much more here than meets the eye, and they are absolutely covering it up. The part that I'm kind of personally disappointed.
Sorry. They're absolutely covering it up. Who's they? Who? Joe Biden? Ro Khanna? Who's covering it up? Sorry, what member of the Biden administration came out and gave you an edited prison video with, by the way, not the entire night, just like 10 or 11 hours of it. It's, last I checked, there's 24 hours in a day, and that's how long they record this shit. I don't know why it stops basically at bedtime, and he's found dead in the morning and doesn't pick up, right? Why wouldn't you? This is the curious part. You give it all the way up to midnight, and there's all this time between then and when he's found. Where the fuck is that video? And they're like, something's weird. It's something weird. There's nothing weird.
He's Kash Patel and Bongino, who are good guys.
No, they are not.
Telling us just a couple of months ago, there's nothing here, there's nothing else to release. Well, you just released 30,000 more documents and 3 more minutes of footage, so what do you mean?
What they mean is please don't ask us again, because there's tons of shit. Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit. There's 3. Thank you. There's all the extra stuff they have beyond that 3 minutes and the 33 documents. Anything past that, Trump's all over it. Trump's in all of it. Pictures, video, everything. And I like... I'm gonna sneeze again. I'm all right. Okay.
You're the head of the FBI. What?
Weird. Yeah. And you can't seem to find it. Huh. Biden administration manages to put Ghislaine Maxwell behind bars for 20 fucking years for her part in it. And you dunce motherfuckers get her moved to Club Fed and start talking about a pardon.
What are you talking about? I don't love that because I did like those two guys. I'm a bit confused. Maybe
Can I help you out? Jillian, everybody, PBD, everybody on the panel. Maybe you're not confused. Maybe you're a gullible dickhead who is waking up to the fact that you have been had. And you're not allowing yourself to have that realization, so you're stuffing it back down and pretending to be confused. Maybe that's why.
I'm missing.
I take it back. Scratch the maybe.
No, you're not. No, you're not, because that was that for leading up to the election. That's all you saw. Because by the way, I don't think Dan Bongino knows he was going to get that position. But Dan was the
Yeah.
I saw this.
Yeah, if he had, he wouldn't have been so forthcoming. If he knew he was going to have to do a liar's job later, he probably wouldn't have set himself up to look like such an asshole. So every maggot he runs into yells at him at a restaurant.
Talk to this. Trust me, I know this. And then when they came in, it was a different story. But Jillian, no, I agree with you 100%. I'm actually proud, though, that people like Thomas, because remember, Henry Anton, the number, nobody cares about Epstein. Who cares? Who cares? No. I'm so proud of Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna from different sides of the aisle, not letting this die out. Okay, because you see...
Look at Vinny having a moment. Now, he's not going to like it when this shit ends up right at Trump's feet.
Freaking Nancy Mace, she's a freaking survivor of sexual assault and rape. And that means she's in there hearing these girls reliving her own freaking trauma. And Pat nailed it. She was sitting right here. She is tough. No, she is stone cold. So for that to come out and
She's not stone cold. Okay. If you're going to talk about somebody who's been a victim of sexual assault like Nancy Mace, let's be abundantly clear. She's not stone cold. She's disassociated specifically because of the trauma that she has gone through, you asshole. Do you understand? She wasn't being stone cold and cool and collected and all that. She's a fucking wreck. Dumbass. That's why she's illogical and why she can't get a grasp on like any issue that is even remotely emotional to her. She's a fucking wreck, dude. Again, this is how the girls became, effectively madams themselves. Do you understand that? She's not stone cold. She's broken. That's why she walked out crying. That's why she flips out about trans shit and all that kind of stuff. And again, I'm not letting her off the hook for anything that she would naturally come to with her own ethical and moral failings or whatever. But it is abundantly clear from her behavior and her overfixation on babies and little children and pets and cruelty to animals, all good causes, but her fixation on that is because there's a safety in it. It's almost a regressive safety in it, right? But people who go through that kind of shit, shut the fuck down. And these guys are like, she's a fucking boss. I'm like, no, man. She just can't show anything. And look, I don't like her politics. I don't like her party's politics. But I will always give someone who's been a victim of assault, of sexual assault especially, a lot of room to fail and flail. Because that's exactly what happened to all Epstein's victims. Some of them became prostitutes. Some of them used drugs. Some of them both. Some of them committed suicide. And people go, well, you can't, like fucking Dershowitz coming in. You can't trust her. She's a drug addict. Of course she's a fucking drug addict, man. She was gutted at a young age by Donald Trump's fucking running buddy. So, like I said, one day, maybe we'll find out what her real politics are and she'll be a total bitch and nobody has to listen to her. But in all these cases, anytime somebody's in that situation, I'm going to give them room to be a fucking wreck. However that manifests, as long as they're not actively harming someone. I'm just telling you. That's my thing. You don't have to agree. You don't have to join me in this. Doesn't matter. Right? You do not have to agree with me on this. But that's where I go. And so I just want to show you like kind of the difference in perspective, like how they see her versus how I would see her, considering we both know the same details. They both shared the same details I did. She spoke about it. We both heard it, right? They took away, she's like, she's a boss and she's locked in. I would judge the rest of her behavior and say she's a fucking mess. So, and again, I think she shouldn't be in Congress, right? Go fix yourself and don't inflict that on other people at the time. Go heal. But, again, I have a hard line about this. Sorry, I have a hard line about this. Why is MTG now a hero? She's not. She just, and even the articles about her like, shocker, MTG sides with Epstein victims. She came on the scene as a QAnon. And again, this is where I was talking about. If you define yourself on a character trait, and then part of who you align, you define yourself on is your alignment with another person, there will be a tug and pull at some point if those conflict. If at some point that person does the thing that, you're absolutely, like, you have a thing against stealing, whatever it is, stealing people's music and that kind of stuff, and you're friends with a musician, you find out he stole his biggest song or something like that, that will be a conflict. And one of those things will have to, it will overpower the other. You're going to have to make a moral decision. What's more important to me? My relationship with this person, or what the defining characteristic that I said was a red line for myself, right? That's what happens. That'll occur. Everybody has a choice like that in life, but this is a very stark one. Being defining yourself by fighting for child sex trafficking victims and victims of sexual assault, and especially, the people who you believe you've defined yourself as a QAnon person as fighting for the children who are wrapped up in this and who are peddled all over the world, right? You've lost family members. You've decided that this is your fucking line. And you're a Trump supporter. At some point, that's going to be in conflict. We could all see it coming. That's why we fucking can't stand the guy. Right? That's, like, who can't tell? He's a fucking cretin. And especially in that area, if that's your defining characteristic, that you're fighting for the children must be saved. They're children under the White House in tunnels, and their brains are being drank. Right? Remember that shit? MTG defined herself as that. MTG only thinks she'll find bad Democrats? Fine. I don't care. She's not going to. Yeah, she attacked David Hogg. I agree. That's why she's not a good person. I'm just saying in this moment, there's her identity, and I'm not even saying some act of kindness or the depth of her ethics or her heart outrunning her brain in this situation. She's got two defining characteristics, and this is a decision. Which more important, Trump supporter or fighter for the children, right? Whether either of them are true ultimately doesn't matter. She has defined herself that way, and she sees herself that way, and she wants other people to see herself that way. And at some point, one is in conflict with the other. So, and that will benefit, I believe, us and humanity, whether she turns into a better person later on or not, which she won't. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to, like, again, you can be comfortable understanding the advantage of the circumstance that she has put herself in without having to be a part of it or accept her. Yeah, it's moral, not political, exactly. So I'll show you that in a minute. And you can make up your own mind. See if what she's saying sounds opportunistic to you or whatever. And again, if somebody's going to come across and take a vote away from these motherfuckers, considering all the shit they want to do, knock yourself out. Have a fucking cookie. Sit down. if it stops harm, it's not a long-term alliance I would lean on.
Representative Luna was saying, guys, is that there's all these victims and all these victims. When there's a victim, there's an offender, there's an assailant, okay? And she said this. She said, it is possible that he was a foreign intelligence asset, and rich and powerful people need to go to jail. I want, and we've been saying this, Adam, for how many months now? Accountability. Give us one, okay?
How about Donald? What if that's the one? Dude, I'll give you that one today. There are Polaroids, allegedly, that show Donald Trump with Epstein and topless, possibly underage girls where they're laughing at a stain on his fucking pants. He partied with topless young girls with Jeffrey Epstein, and he doesn't seem to care whether they were of age or not.
With COVID, we're not going to get nothing because they freaking gave Fauci a pardon. So we're screwed.
2014.
We are screwed in that sense, but we want a person. She said rich and powerful, give us one. I want...
Okay. You do realize if they give you one, Trump gets got as well.
somebody to go down. Please, God.
I actually respect Vinny's opinion on this. I've been pretty clear that, you know, when it comes to signal and noise, this is a bunch of noise to me.
Yes, he thinks the entire Epstein affair is noise. And this is because he's getting the White House memo to shut it the fuck down. Like, he's the one they thought they could reach, so he's carrying the fucking water. The rest of the panel often seems to be in conflict with this dickhead, and I don't know how, like, honest he is in his addressing of this, right? But I gotta say, I personally think he's, like, getting the same phone calls Charlie Kirk is getting, because he's the only one that will hold this. But it gets harder and harder to bear that bullshit weight.
But that doesn't mean it's not important. That doesn't mean there's nothing to see here. Doesn't mean there doesn't need to be accountability. Here's what I know. Remember when they talked about the Henry Enton thing, and they're like, we polled 1,000 people, and one person was interested. They go, 1% of people are interested in Epstein? No, one person. But here's what I know about that one person. They are the loudest mother suckers in the room, man. They are not going to let this thing drop. So there's people out there who are like...
Also, dude, there's not even... This, like, 3/5 of the fucking panel is not dropping it. Jillian Michaels, Vinny, and Peanut Butter Dickhead himself are not letting this shit go. And they're hammering it. And they're all going, there is a major cover-up going here, because there was allegedly a minute that didn't exist that now does exist. And it shows something fucking hinky as hell and a brand new person. So the idea that, like, no, 1% of people give a shit about this, but that 1% are loud. Motherfucker, more than half of the panel you're sitting on. You're the 1% now who doesn't give a shit.
Look, I'm just trying to pay the bills, put food on the plate, work, raise my family, all that. I get that. But then there's people who are like, I don't care what I got to do. I am not dropping this Epstein thing. And people like you are not going to let this go.
Yeah.
So respect to you.
And mind you that we keep seeing it. Like, it keeps popping up. You just showed a video. So wait, that means Pam Bondi, you lied to us.
What? No way! When did they figure that out? Holy shit! Look how surprised this fuckwad is. Vinny, what the fuck is the matter with you? Yes, she lied, dummy. She lied every day after that lie, too. Because she could have shown you any night for the last 20 years, according to her, it's been that way since the 90s, that showed a missing minute. And she didn't, and she didn't, and she didn't. She lied hundreds of times to your stupid fucking empty dome, you dickhead. What? And look at Jillian Michaels' hands.
Exactly.
You're the attorney general. You're the highest law enforcement.
That's what I'm
Pam Bondi.
Blonde.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm starting to think that Bill Barr guy was full of shit too.
Oh yeah, my bad. And it's like,
Have a little
what do
respect.
you? And Pat, I love that you said that. What? You think we're stupid?
Yes. Yes. They do. Not dumb. Stupid. They think they can tell you something, and then they can threaten or cajole you into saying something stupid on the air and going against your own self-image and your own worth undermine your own standing.
You think we're not? You think the
Yes,
nerds that are out there
they
are
do.
gonna take that
They
video,
actually do.
put in
I feel seen.
AI, and say you guys are freaking lying?
Wait, why did we have to put it in AI? We could see it ourselves back then, fuckwad. Like, we didn't even need the minute to know that they cut it out. Jesus Christ.
So obviously, to me, my opinion, that means the people that are involved are still hovering and circling around like vultures, going, "Don't do that. Better not do that. He's on this. We have a relationship with."
Or what? Trump's not running again. He's made himself a billionaire off of his fucking fake meme coins. If they're not going to bring him down with it, in theory, right? According to you. Were they going to threaten to fucking kill him? Like, the dude has literally made it so the SCOTUS would allow him to murder somebody if they even threatened him. Like, people could start falling out of windows like Vladimir Putin's oligarch buddies. Sorry, Trump, Bongholio, Kash Patel, and Pam Bondi are all scared for their lives because these people will have them killed? For real. For fucking real. And they're not covering it because Trump's all over that shit. They're scared because the Illuminati's gonna snuff them.
this. It drives me bananas.
I'm with Pat. I don't like the precedent. And I'll tell you what also I don't like. What I don't like is
The precedent. Yeah. Like, it sets a bad precedent.
it feels like history repeating itself. 4 frames missing from the Zapruder film.
Fuck you. 4 frames missing from the Zapruder film. History repeating itself. Dude, there's no history here. It's a single crime. Stick to the fucking day, dummy. History repeating itself is that the next big Epstein cover-up you saw is exactly like the last big Epstein cover-up you saw, which was both during Trump being president.
208 to 211, been missing for a long time. Oh, we were working with Life magazine. They were trying to do some editing, and wait, you were letting a reporter from Life magazine actually do some editing on the single most important piece of evidence since the atomic spy case? Are you kidding me? Number one. Number two, then they said, oh, we don't have the radio recordings from the police radios. Those came out later in the Kennedy. I'm talking about Kennedy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and now those recordings are available where you put on headphones at the National Memorial and Historical Site, which is the 6th Avenue Book Depository in Dallas. You put them on there and it says, please listen to the 4 shots. You can clearly hear the sound and what's recoil and report of these 4 shots. Oh, so now there's 4 shots. And it's out there. But it was all trickled out. It was all available. And this feels like it's just a repeat of history. It was like 2 years later, 3 years after Warren Commission, found the 4 frames of the Zapruder film. You know what? There's a little hitch here. So maybe could have been shot from the front. Could have been.
God damn. Way to distract everybody from, like, I never thought I'd be bored to tears by a conspiracy theory. Get on with it. We're not talking about, some unknown people in the FBI that may have been playing fast and loose with the fucking Zapruder film. You asshole. We're talking about the dude you sold to the American people as the perfect president while Kamala Harris would destroy the fucking country. You shepherded him in. Unless you're going to go back and go, I campaigned for, I was a big Johnson fan. I thought he should have been president the entire time. And then I really got behind Nixon. So I was, I was on the side of the people that may have arranged for his death. I was a big Castro fan. Shut the fuck up.
Shot from the back. And it's not just Oliver Stone writing his movie and saying back and to the right, back and to the right. He was talking
to the left. Oh, now, I'm sorry. A couple of weeks after the Warren Commission, now it's back into the right. Wait, were we watching it backwards the whole time? Was he actually going east on the fucking
What are you
road?
thinking here?
What I think here is sorry about that. They're bleeding out this drip, drip, drip. And it looks like the movie we've seen before. And it reduces the credibility. It doesn't improve the
reduces the credibility. Aren't you adorable?
Trust that Americans need to have in their government.
The trust that Americans need to have in their government. You fuckers hate government. All you do is shit on the government until your guy gets in. Get the fuck?
Trust is what they need to restore. So sometime you tear up.
Yeah, they can't. Because the only way they could do it is by releasing video and Polaroids of Donald Trump partying with Jeffrey Epstein and underage girls. You absolute asshat.
The Band-Aid and say, this is what happened. This
is what happened. I have recordings of the president together.
This is what's going on, and this is what we've got.
Let me tell you one thing, though, Tom. You ready for this?
No. Whatever it is, he's not. Neither are you.
Okay. I'm going to ask this question. I'm curious to know what you're going to say. John F. Kennedy, the shooting happens. The Dallas shooting happens today. You think they get away with it? Today.
No, camera phones and everything that's everywhere in recordings, no way.
Thomas Crook.
That's right. Do you think so?
Who
You
is
still think
he?
they get away with it?
Hell yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So do you think?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so Jillian Michaels thinks that because Thomas Crook, by the way, is dead and never managed to, even inflict any violence on Trump because that was a piece of glass from his teleprompter that hit his ear. It's like, who is this guy, right? It's like, Lee Harvey Oswald Part 2. I don't know. How about let's flip this around. You tit. How about Kennedy survives the assassination attempt? Oswald is killed through the window. They open fire towards the window and they shoot who's ever up there, and then they go up there and they find Oswald dead on the fucking floor with his rifle and all that kind of shit. And then Kennedy never wants to know who the guy is. How about that? What do you think the conspiratorial arc would be around that? Right? Do you think Kennedy would go, I don't think about it anymore. For real. Fuck you. Who's Thomas Crook? I don't know. I don't know why Trump doesn't give a shit. Right?
Do you think Thomas Crook's was a similar story to the one with John F. Kennedy that was trying to take Trump out?
I mean, what do we know about this kid? How
I
about a
think
donut hole? Nothing.
My opinion, Pat.
We know they had a garden hose on the roof one day later.
Especially with all the shots, Pat.
Oh, by the way, every time they talk about this shit, they get all the details all mangled up, and you can see why they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
All the footage that they have, the bullets hitting in different angles. I don't think it was only him as well. He was going to be the patsy. He wasn't going to come out alive at all. So,
well, then why did they get him? What the fuck are you talking about? Sorry, they had multiple shooters trying to kill Trump, and they missed. Are you shitting me? All right. Again, the Democrats, the deep state, the fucking Illuminati, whoever tried to kill him, can't manage to do it in an open fucking field in the middle of Pennsylvania with nobody around for miles. They couldn't manage to do that. Then why is anyone afraid of the Illuminati or the derp state or the fucking, like the Democrat assassination squad? They can fuck that up? How do you miss? He's the only guy on stage. He's thick as a whale omelet. How do you miss? If there's a bunch of you and the one guy's just a patsy, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. I
So-
agree.
So where I'm at with this is the following.
Oh, here comes the big thinking. Go ahead, champ. Give us the big breakdown.
Here's where I'm at with this. I think there is two different types of noise.
All right, I'm gonna fucking. This is. Why is this? Why does it just get dumber? Why? Why? Two different kinds of noise.
There's real noise. There's bad noise.
Let me take this out. Somebody put it right. Real noise. This is fucking genius. I hope I get to go to that thing with you and Martha Stewart and Tony Robbins. Real noise and bad. All right, sorry. Back that up. I'm so glad I'm recording this.
Two different types of noise.
Two different types. Okay, two. I'll make two columns. Noise, and we'll just see what kind of. Okay, two different kinds of noise. Give it to me.
There's real noise. There's bad noise.
All noise is bad noise because it's noise. The word itself. There's white noise. He left that out too, which isn't bad noise. It's just sound. But there's no such thing as white sound. So they went with white noise because it sounds better.
The hardest part about life is to be able to differentiate which noise is valid, which noise is not.
It's all noise. If it's noise, it's fucking noise. There is no valid noise, you dumb son of a bitch. I think good noise would be called sound or signal. That would be the separation. Signal versus noise is the usual analogy by, proto-militaristic assholes. Fuck you.
Because you can sit there and look at the noise and, oh my God, look at all the people that are being killed. But Muslims are being killed by a bunch of different people. How come you're not? Okay, that's a good question.
I think that's an Israel reference, maybe.
Why are you not paying attention to the...
This is the Middle Eastern version of black on black crime.
Only because it's this. Okay, fair. All right, maybe that's a good argument. So many people are saying, blah, 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 this. Yeah, why are you not looking at what's going on in these liberal cities? No, it's because... Okay, well, you lose the argument, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you probably do. When you're going, these liberal cities, you're probably going to lose that argument. Does anybody, do we have any imbecile translators in the audience that can tell me what the fuck this asshole is on about?
For me with this, on the people that are making noise now, and you're seeing Anna Paulina, I don't know if Anna Paulina, I think when I watch Anna Paulina's body language there.
Uh-huh. Yeah. She's telling me yes.
She's a little bit conflicted because she's concerned who's on that list.
Sorry. Her body language makes noise? Fucking asshole. Okay. I'm all right. I'm okay.
That's the vibe I got from her. Nancy.
Yeah. Is it a good noise vibe or a bad noise vibe from her body language noise?
Mace walks out emotional because of what happened to her the last 2 years.
Yeah.
The trouble today, Vinny, why I think neither this or the COVID thing is going to go away, I don't know if Fauci is going to go to jail. There's less than a 0.1% chance he's going to jail. I'm not interested in him going to jail or not going to jail. I'm more interested in this becoming clear evidence of what they did so the next guy cannot use it and do it. Him going to jail doesn't make any difference in my life. What does happen is we find that the games you played, you can't do it again. We find that the games China played, you can't do it again, or any other country. I'm interested in permanent prevention of what could possibly happen in the future.
Well, then why did you fucking vote for Trump? Who, during COVID, motherfucker, during COVID was like trying to finish his trade deal with Xi Jinping and talking about how he's very professional, they're handling it great, there's no cases basically, and it goes away when the sunshine hits it like snot on a fucking banister, right? Like why would you vote for the motherfucker again? You have a case study. Like, if you don't want bad shit to happen again, you shepherded this dickhead back in. God damn.
That's what my concern is. And when I see this taking place today, what this is taking place today is this is showing the fact that all of those things that they kept talking about.
Just fucking say it. You want to talk about noise? God, get on with it.
The audience was right. You did hide 3 minutes.
Yeah. And, which means your whole fucking show, your whole fucking show, the whole show, every episode, every single episode of this asshole's podcast, since she said that, has been noise. Bad noise. Useless noise. Valueless-tainment. Do you understand? You've been wasting everybody's fucking time since then because you have not noticed, which was what was self-evident from Trump's interruption and her bullshit about the missing minute, and the very next day, her not showing that, see, every night there's a minute missing. Here's from a week ago. Son of a bitch.
You leaked it. The audience was right about that. all these documents.
The audience. I'm not your audience, asshole. I'm not. I break down this guy's videos because they're indicative of a greater narrative within the MAGA media sphere. Not because he's got a special fucking take. And partly because the divergence that has occurred between him and Adam and Vinny about this shit is indicative of the greater maggot split around Epstein. They're like a petri dish for this fucking syphilitic infection that's knocking out half of MAGA.
Documentaries are right. And when I had, what's his name on, Michael Wolff on, we had a conversation with him about Epstein, and he's telling me, yeah, all these guys showed up. You're telling me there isn't assets? I mean, I have a hard time believing that. Now, I can tell you, like, Ehud Barak visits, 32 times, 36 times to the house? And I asked Michael Wolff, I said, when you were at his $55 million, $77 million property, biggest private residence that Lex Wexner that just gifted him? And he even asked Lex Wexner later on why he gifted him. What do you mean he gifts him? Who the hell gifts anybody a $77 million biggest private residence in Manhattan? Nobody does that for no reason. And why was Ehud Barak there? Oh, he would always show up. Why? Just because he would be telling, he was a gas bag. What did he call it? Rob, what was the word he used?
Gas bag was
gas
the right
bag,
word.
yeah. And then, he's visiting for what, shits and giggles? When he said, Epstein was a guy that couldn't keep secrets, he would always talk, and he's always saying stuff. And I said, was that painting of Clinton in the house? Yeah, it was there. Where was it at? Right next to the bathroom. Wait, we were told that painting is not real, and maybe it's fake, and maybe it's this. Now you're there, and a guy that doesn't hate Trump, but didn't vote for Trump, dislikes him, says that is there. We're supposed to sit there and think there is no ties? Just tell us the truth. What happened? It's okay. It's not like we're not going to be making mistakes. So to me, I'm glad this is happening. And I'm glad that if it happens to if you ever notice somebody who is overly emotional about something like this, it's probably because something happened to them in their lives or something happened to somebody they love in their lives. And if somebody reacts to it like, yeah, whatever, probably nothing happened to them in their lives. Or
God damn it. Genius. I feel like I'm watching, who needs a third season of Mindhunter when you got this simpleton fuck blathering on about this? God damn.
or they did something in their lives that they're kind of like, hey, let me be careful with this.
Oh, you mean like Trump going, are you still talking about Epstein? What's the big fucking deal? That maybe, just maybe, he was engaged in that behavior with Epstein and he'd rather have people not talk about it, especially when he's in the fucking room, because they'll watch his face twitch all over the fucking place because every time they mention certain things, and body language experts will go, oh, I'm fairly certain that motherfucker knows more than he's saying.
I'm just glad they're making progress with this. And let's see what happens next. By the way, all they had to do at the beginning, Jillian, come out, sequencing, we're on the same page, release, here's what we know, here's what we don't know. If you know anything, reach out to us. This is the info.
Yeah, that's all they had to do. Now, what could be the reason, I can't think of one, that they wouldn't do that?
We're releasing it to you, and let's move on.
Leaking.
It would have been a 6-week, story cycle.
Oh, no. Oh, no, son. No, it wouldn't have been a 6-week cycle. No. It would have been the end of the Trump presidency before it fucking began. The big bullshit bill never would have fucking passed. There would have been impeachment hearings from the Republican side of Trump. If the shit that's in there comes out, there is no other reason for them to slow walk it. None. There is none. He doesn't need donors. He doesn't need voters. He's not running again. He can't. He can bullshit about it all he wants. The only reason for him not to do this isn't because other people won't give him money or deals or whatever. It's because he's fucking in there.
And gone. Now you're extending it. You're not because we want to extend it, because you're making it extend.
Yeah, you're extending. Why are they extending it? I can't imagine.
And that's a flaw on their end. It's a mistake they made.
But boss, here's the thing, and
Boss? sorry, everybody there gets to call him, peanut butter dickhead, but she has to call him boss. All right.
Tom, you said this, and I'm never going to forget it. If Epstein is intelligence, right, then that means our tax dollars are essentially using children as sex slaves to leverage what? You think they're going to tell us that?
Sure.
No friggin' way, guys.
Yeah, and last thing, Pat, and the only thing.
Okay, so that's the excuse on the reason. Okay, we found out about Tuskegee. We found out about Abu Ghraib, and that was people, whistleblowing on this. If Trump isn't a part of it, why do you think? And he thinks there's some sort of deep state shit going on in the CIA and stuff that happened before he was around, and that Epstein was being controlled by them, and he wasn't actually just a pedophile running buddy of his. That he was being manipulated, and this guy was maybe sent, whatever. You don't think Trump would release that shit and distance himself from it? It'd be the easiest fucking thing in the world to blame the fucking CIA. What are you talking about? And also, like, again, this goes to that, she's been watching like that Tucker Carlson bullshit about our tax dollars paid for all this kind of stuff. No, they didn't. And our tax dollars don't pay for most of the confidential informants that are out there.
You don't think nothing comes out?
Oh, hell no.
I'm with her. And here's my thing, Pat.
No.
The only reason I say,
No way.
because some people don't care about jail. My thing is, if there's no accountability and none of them go inside of a prison cell, then it'll never stop. Because no matter how we change the system, the people in, like the FBI, Peter Strzok, all them, this is the FBI. There's still going to be rogue people in there. They're still going to have their own agenda.
For the record, Vinny, you prick, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page and others who were against Trump were against him because, in part, of his relationship with Jeffrey fucking Epstein and Russia. Vladimir Putin, who sent rape squads into Bucha, which I would argue was in the same fucking ballpark of the kind of shit that Epstein did, sort of more of like an acute ground game version of the aerial assault that Epstein was doing, but the same attack on innocent victims and the same using sexual violence for control and to make money and to have and connections and all that kind of shit.
And even if it comes out, the system's set up to where none of them goes to jail. None of them will, and that's why I'm with her. Nothing is going to happen to none of these people. The only person, Pat, is going to keep them accountable is God. That's the only comfort that I have.
Oh, Jesus. Don't tell me Vinny actually thinks Trump is a fucking Christian or something. Because, if I may, if Vinny actually believes that, which I question, and I try to stay away from people's religious or spiritual beliefs because everyone's entitled to their own unique mistake. But in the case of Vinny, if he's one of these assholes who thinks that Trump is going to be the weapon of God's retribution on these people when he is a direct beneficiary of this behavior, he's more far gone than I think we even knew.
Is they're going to get judged because it's not going to happen here. It's not. I don't have faith in the system.
Don't think
Why? Because the guy you voted for is his fucking running buddy? Somebody said, Hal, you don't believe in spirituality. Of course I do. But I'm just saying your beliefs aren't my business. It's hard to judge other people's belief systems, the depth of it. Occasionally I will go straight out and say people like, Mike Pillow and others wearing their cross is a bunch of puffery and bullshit. But in general, I steer clear of that. I don't interfere with people praying on screen. I move right past it. I leave that to everybody's own personal thing. But your behavior is what I will judge.
anything's going to happen
Nope.
to these guys.
Absolutely not.
No way.
Zero.
You don't think nothing happens to the Fauci people?
Nope.
Nope.
You don't think there's going to be any accountability where history is going to be able to reveal what happened here?
I think the evidence
So-
is out that people know exactly what
History,
happened.
yes. Accountability now, courtroom hearings, things like that. No.
Yeah, so which is more important? Where are you at? Which is more important? Which is more important? To me, accountability-wise, You know what happens when
Oh, my God.
you're somebody that
Thanks
you
so
do
much.
bad things. Who ends up eventually coming and getting you? Either the man upstairs
Thanks,
or some
Ron.
people that were emotionally involved in that story. They find a way to come to you. For me, my level of optimism here is this is so wide with so many kids involved. It's so many different places. It's going to be very hard to hide this. And with COVID, this is so wide. This is so involved with different countries and the way it was handled. You have to be ready for the next one. Because if we're not, they're going to be able to use the same exact principles of what they did to us again. I am
Also, again, like the idea is that every country in the world was in on faking this pandemic so they could sell pharmaceuticals to kill or experiment on people. Like every country, except for like South Africa or something like that, where they got bigger fish to fry and their death toll couldn't even chart with, infectious disease. Like that kind of shit. What? Oy.
convinced that some of the guys are going to fight on the inside to get to it. Watch this. Thomas Massey. Is Thomas Massey a friend of President Trump?
No.
Is he a pro-Israel guy or is he a pro-APAC guy? Does he have an APAC representative working with him?
No.
No, he does not. They've been approached. He does not. Ro Khanna, is he a Republican or a Democrat?
Democrat.
But is he a reasonable
Progressive.
Democrat?
Yes.
Okay. Is he a guy that has a decent relationship with Musk?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a decent
does he really?
relation. Oh yeah, he has a
Okay.
decent relation because
He's in Silicon
he's
Valley.
He's the Silicon Valley.
representative.
So
Yeah.
Musk isn't in Silicon Valley. His fucking shops down, like his like Twitter's in fucking downtown San Francisco, and SpaceX is in fucking Hawthorne in L.A.
he's the guy that's there. So he has the richest zip code out of everybody in America is what he's got. So I think
So I guess it's billionaires and they control them, and that's why you can't release the information because the rich and powerful won't let you. He's in the richest zip code in the fucking country, and therefore he's coming forward kind of blows your stupid fucking argument out of the water.
the part that is going to be, these guys are going to be annoying.
Yeah, they are.
What I'm telling you is,
Yeah, in a good way.
I'm
In a good-
looking at them. I'm annoyed.
yeah, these guys are going to be annoying, and they're going to be going in there and just kind of keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. Eventually, something could break. Whether it does or not, I don't know. But I'm always more.
Oh my god. Just you can't do a whole big fucking ramble about noise and then just frabada. Like he's just filling fucking time.
Supportive of you believing that justice will be done, God will do his part, and convinced that the right people will step up, than saying nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
All right, like at this point, it's just blather. The point of that whole video and the kind of crucial part, though, is this. The Epstein prison video just showed that Pam Bondi was straight up lying. She returned to a bowling alley. That's what I think too. Yeah, it's the shoe lockers at a bowling alley. Yeah. New footage released. Hold on, I'm gonna put this in the reader. New footage released from Jeffrey Epstein's jail unit has blown up Attorney General Pam Bondi's explanation about why a minute was missing. At the time, Bondi claimed the security cameras automatically cut out for 1 minute as part of a system reset each night. However, MAGA erupted after forensic analysis showed the video was edited repeatedly. The new surveillance footage, which was part of the bulk online drop at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, fills in that missing minute between 11:59 and midnight. However, the video appears to show very little in the footage of the new files. A number of guards are visibly working near Epstein's cell. And also, you don't know that they're guards, just people in black clothing. The extra minute is contained within 2 additional hours of footage from the new files. According to this, the Daily Beast has contacted Bondi's office for comment. Outside the missing 1 minute footage, the footage released on Tuesday also shows Epstein being walked through the detention center to make a phone call, as reported by CBS. That was the one where he called his girlfriend while pretending to be calling his mother. FBI stated in July that after the investigation prison footage, no one had entered or left the area where Epstein was being held, leading them to agree with the chief medical examiner that he took his own life, as well as video and documents. The epic file dump on Google Drive and Dropbox included audio recordings, emails, and court filings. Committee Wrangler Robert Garcia said that the only new disclosure in the Tuesday dump was fewer than 1,000 pages from the Customs and Border Protection's log of flight locations of Epstein's private plane from 2000 to 2014. Do you have those for Trump's plane? Because they flew together. Garcia called out the Oversight Committee. Comer, 33,000 pages of Epstein documents James Comer has decided to release were already mostly public information to the American people. Don't let this fool you. There is no mention of a client list or anything that improves transparency or justice for victims. House Republicans are trying to make a spectacle of releasing already public documents. Pam Bondi has said the client list was on her desk. No, I said it was the files and they were ready for review. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah, I was gonna review the documents. Yeah, that's it. I'm reviewing them.